Nigeria's security architecture has become the theme of a new crime series, Crime and Justice Lagos. Set against the backdrop of the biggest and most densely populated city in Africa, Crime and Justice Lagos captures the pulse of the city from the glitzy clubs to its grimy ghettos through the lens of law enforcement agents tasked with keeping its citizens safe. Theophilus Elama reports.
The series, Crime and Justice Lagos, is a police procedural and crime series. It centers around the activities of the fictional, serious and special crimes unit, led by its charismatic boss, Deputy Commissioner of Police Femi Baboye, played by William Benson, and made up of an elite team of top detectives, joined by Superintendent Kelechi K.C. Farasin, played by Folu Storms, and Superintendent Danla Didiko, played by Jamal Ibrahim. At this media screening, journalists were given the opportunity to exclusively see part of the series.
So this particular project I really feel stands out because of the way that we approach the stories, the very human interest angle. I mean, just watching this in the story of Mr. and Mrs. Oredo and going through the thought process of how people find themselves in somewhat criminal situations and dodgy situations. You don't necessarily intend it right from the beginning, but sometimes you can end up there.
Cast and crew spoke after the screening, say Nigeria is a tough place for police officers. They applauded the force for putting everything on the line, including their lives. The series is a reflection of the day-to-day reality.
And I know that a lot of us were very quick to want to react negatively sometimes when law enforcement approaches you because you assume the worst at all times. Please never forget that however tough a day you are having, that officer has probably had a tougher day, I promise you. Please never forget that when that man has to go home, he probably has to take off his uniform, he has to be careful how he moves. Please never forget that. And if we just approach our law enforcement officers with a bit more empathy, with a bit more understanding, like it makes life a lot easier. I'm not saying you don't have a problem, but maybe the problem will be far from coming.
They're humans too. Yeah. And also being this character, we also got to realize that more. They put a lot into their work. They stay under that sun for God knows how long.
Showmax believes this demonstrates the streaming service's commitment to telling authentic African stories.
One thing we must realize that the police are part of our society. They face some of the challenges that we face, and they do have a lot of good that they do. The police is there to solve crime, and they do solve crime.
The series is suspense-filled and gives a view on the daily operations of the police force in combating crime in the society.
But apparently they're everywhere.
Theophilus Elama, TVC News, Lagos.